why do we see such a crazy growth in recent time in the decentralized finance space? And what is the decentralized finance space in, first of all, why are people actually migrating over now, if you can call it at all a migration to decentralized finance?
Yeah, that was one of our main thesis really of what we're doing, which is, you've got, at the moment you have 75% of the assets in the space that is essentially unavailable in a trustless or decentralized way to smart contracts. So, the bulk of that is Bitcoin and XRP. And so, if it's not available, smart contracts can't participate in things like DeFi easily. There are wrapped BTC and things like that. So we've seen XRP principally as a really fascinating, just almost like just a store of value just sitting there. So it has its use case, which is coming to fruition over time, and it's going to take it's a very big use case, but there's also just there's at the moment I think 10-11 billion dollars worth of value just sitting there, which is currently underutilized, and so that's very much our sort of thesis. So, where I'd like to go with, why is DeFi so successful right now? And I'd say, first of all, you've got a number of things going on. Is people are creating some really interesting, I'd say, almost like financial primitives, like initial ideas about, okay, so how can we do things that look a bit like what we've done before, but on a blockchain? So one of the things that's really hard is traditional unsecured lending, because you don't know who the counterparty is. So right now, most DeFi products are mostly revolving around market making, around increasing liquidity, around arbitrage, around allowing people to borrow, to be able to essentially sell, to go short. So it's about replacing the sort of financial sector trading intermediaries. And that's been extremely successful, I think, personally. Some of the craze is a little potentially artificial, with the idea that people are essentially buying liquidity by issuing community tokens, which give them governance tokens, which give them voting rights. So I'm not sure how sustainable those models are in the long term, because there's always another one that will come along. But I think you've got some really interesting initial technologies which are being built that will be branched out upon. And then I'd really like to go to see it facilitating something more meaningful than just arbitrage and replacing the existing financial services in the blockchain industry, but to go to something more meaningful that really really gets the energy that is stored in the capital of blockchain out to other people, out to people who are building stuff or need it for trade. But I think that's a really complex thing, and I think we're a long way off from that today.
Yeah.